Hey, what's up? This is the Babbling Tim podcast. This is going to be the introduction episode. This is also the first and last time I'll be doing an intro because intros are really gay. And by gay, I mean stupid. So, in this one, I'll basically say what topics we're going to go over, what different subjects I'll be talking about. So, if you're going to be interested or not. And I'll talk about like the format and stuff like that. All right, so topics. We're going to talk about politics some. Um, Briefly, I don't consider myself really on the left or the right, as they say, uh, but I'm definitely not on the left. I think it's very clear, as you'll see, definitely not on the left. Uh, just like some if we go over like some issues like gun rights, people have the right to defend themselves, regardless of even if you think the Constitution's out of date. If you're one of those people, I don't give a crap. People have the right to defend themselves, regardless of what if there's a piece of paper saying you can or not defend yourself. Uh, but with politics, a big thing I feel like no one talks about is you don't have to have an opinion on everything. I don't know why there's this feeling that like you have to have an opinion and you have to be able to back it up on every single issue. You know, I don't think that's right. I think it's perfectly okay to not have an opinion on certain issues like abortion, for example. I don't really care. I'm not really pro life or pro abortion. It's just I'm open to the arguments for either way. Uh, but yeah, I've taken the red pill, as they say, which is pretty cringy to even talk about, but there it is. We'll also be talking about cultural issues, like just like how the culture is changing, the PC culture and all that crap. What a load of garbage all that is. We'll be talking about that. Also, you'll quickly find out that I'm a big ranter. I find it really fun just to hate on things. Just hating on things is really fun for me. So if that's what you're into, that's what you're gonna get. Uh, but yeah, as far as pop culture, we talk about video games. I play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot more, but once you have a full-time job, you don't exactly have as much free time. So if you're younger than me, you probably will be figuring that out real soon. I'll be talking about video games, TV. I don't really watch the typical television, but with your typical TV shows. But I watch some, Netflix, of course, like everyone else on the planet. Talk about music, different pop music stuff, radio. Uh, I listen to the radio sometimes on the way to work, and just some really stupid things. There was this one thing, I think it was with a Kane show, and they do this thing where they have like retards call in, and this one girl called in, and if you're not familiar with the term ghosting, I'll briefly go over it. So it's when you date somebody, but you're not really into them, so you basically just disappear and you don't respond, texts, you don't call them, you basically just disappear, and that's called ghosting. Well, this girl, she calls the radio because that's how you deal with your problems, I guess. And somehow they get the dude on the radio, which is probably fake, let's be real. But the premise is retarded. If someone's ghosting you, why would you be trying to get back together with them? That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Clearly, they're not that into you if they're trying to disappear from your life. Just the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Yeah, so we talk about that. YouTube, just I watch a lot of YouTube, probably way more than I do watch any kind of TV. Different stuff on there. Talk about, just like current events, topics like that. Like the YouTube shooter thing that just happened. You know, I see these things, and there's always a viewpoint that I never hear from different talking heads, and so now you get to hear mine. And maybe some other people listen to it. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, Reddit, internet, just we'll be talking about different stuff that happens online. Yeah, we'll talk about things that annoy me and things I don't understand. Uh, I never understood. Yet you'll see this if you live anywhere where it snows. These people, they'll put their windshield wipers up, they'll physically with their hand they'll move them up in the air before like rains or not rains but snows so they don't get frozen. Never understood that. Makes no sense to me. What's the point? If there's snow in your car, you have to clean the snow off anyways. You're not just going to stick your wipers down and then turn them on. That's not going to work out too well. So yeah, never understood that. That's an example of something I don't understand. You also be talking about financial stuff, just stuff I figured out that works, how to save money, that sort of thing. Being frugal, it's not the same as being cheap. But yeah, I'm probably both, to be honest. But if you're wearing the same pairs of shoes for, I'm going to say 5 years, that's being frugal. As long as they look decent, wear them. But if you have 20 pairs of shoes, you're not frugal. So don't pretend to be. Yeah, so format. I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I never did before I got my current job, because it wasn't really a possibility to listen to different podcasts with my old job. But with my current job, I can listen to whatever I want all day while I work, so I do. And the podcasts I like the best are the raw, unedited ones where they literally just film it, or record it rather, make sure it's good, like there's not any kind of like screw ups, like the voice didn't cut out or anything, and then they just upload it. I like the raw, unedited podcasts. It's gonna be audio only, at least in the beginning. That could change, I don't know, it just depends. Maybe it'll be more like, audio, but with like images up on YouTube. I don't know. We just have to see what works good. Yeah, so there won't be any editing. Not like editing in terms of audio. It's just gonna be raw uploads because that's what I like. So I assume there's a lot of people like that. Because it's just more authentic that way, I think. Make sure this thing's still recording still. Oh yeah, and length. I don't know how long my I don't even know. It's dumb to call it a podcast, I think. What does that even mean? But yeah, so the length of the shows are going to be however long they need to be. So if they end up being 20 minutes, that's 20 minutes then. If it's 5 minutes, well then it's 5 minutes. If it's an hour, well then it's an hour. Yeah, so we'll just have to see. Just whatever works. It's going to be however long it needs to be. All right, I'm rambling on that. What else? Think. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get better at this. This is the first time I've done anything like this. I've made YouTube videos 5 years ago on a different channel. Never really went anywhere. Well, I wasn't really that into it. I mean, this is really just going to be a hobby. If it turns into something, great. If it doesn't, don't care. It's just something I've wanted to do it for about a year or so maybe, but I'm like, who's gonna want to listen to me? And then I'm like, I don't like doing social media stuff. So, but then I'm like, at the same time, if you want to do something, just do it. And if it turns into something great, if it doesn't, who cares? The experience in and of itself is worth it. So that's why I'm doing this. And that's another thing as far as format and philosophy and stuff like that. I like when different entertainers online, when they keep everything free, and then it's basically donate if you want to. And if I ever get to the point where I can make money from this, that's exactly the motto I want to follow. So, uh, everything that I make from this will be free. I'm not going to charge anything because I don't, what's the point? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because, if I can help people learn from my mistakes, from, everything, anything and everything I've done, why would you charge for that? Just seems, because you don't have to. You can make money without charging. Like, plenty of people do it. So, I think that just about sums it up. This episode will, I don't know if it'll be shorter or longer than other ones. It's just gonna, we'll just have to wait and see. This is just an introduction. So, yep, my name is Tim. This is the Babbling Tim podcast. God, that's cringy to do. Never gonna do that again. It's not gonna be outros or intros because they're both really cringy. So, yep, that's it for today. See you on the next one. Probably when something really annoying happens, I need to rant. So, see you on the next rant.